Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Keeper Bloodworth. As you can see by the graphics, that could be Castle Keeper for Castles and Crusades. That could be Shadow Keeper for Shadow Dark. I know that Kelsey Dion doesn't use Shadow Keeper for her games, but that's the title role that I'm using for the Game Master for Shadow Dark. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is, as you can see by the graphics, I am going to be talking about the Kickstarter that I have backed. So these are the Kickstarter projects that I have backed, and some are forthcoming, and so those will certainly be backed as well. And I just wanted to give you a little overview of these, and also a trend that I'm starting to see. And this is why I'm bringing Shadow Dark into the discussion here, because obviously Shadow Dark has not only done its Kickstarter, but it also has completed its fulfillment of the Kickstarter as well. Many of us have our copies already in hand and ready to start using, and some have been using the PDFs and their copies of it for a long time now. And again, I'm going to get to that trend in a minute. So let's jump right in, and I'm going to start with the Slumbering City because there's about 48 to 50 hours left on this Kickstarter, and I'm super stoked to to have you all take a look at it and hopefully back it. I had Tom Wilson on my channel a couple weeks ago to talk about this project and everything. He's a really great guy, and he has a lot of things in the works, going along with continuing this, this series of projects that he is going to be working on. And so let me jump right to that Kickstarter page so that you can see it for yourself. And here we go. So Tom Wilson is at the head of Throw Eye Games, and that is who's running this Kickstarter here. As you can see, I backed it, and it's at 56 hours. Oh, sorry, I misquoted. It's 56 hours to go in this. I thought it was a little bit shorter. And let me just refresh this page in case it's a little further along. So it really is approaching its $10,000 mark, and there's one more stretch goal to go for that $10,000 mark. And this is combining Conan's Hyboria, and Conan the Barbarian role-playing games, and it is combining that up and working it into Shadow Dark. So what a great meshing of just two great IPs that I'm super excited about this, and backed it instantly. So awesome art, as you can see here, and the goals, the stretch goals. So it is now past its $9,000 stretch goal to convert all of the existing Throw Eye Games brochure adventures, 6 more, to Shadow Dark system, and to offer them free to backers. All right, so I'm in on that too. So I'm super excited about this. But there is one more stretch goal to reach, and that's at the $10,000 mark. Dark Shadows, an all-new supplement designed to make Shadow Dark even deadlier, will be free to backers. All right, so if we can get this to that $10,000 mark, which it's very close, certainly within striking distance, that is going to be another bonus to this. And it was not an expensive Kickstarter to jump in on, right? So I backed it here at the $35 mark, and with other things included and with shipping, I think, already built into it, I'm coming up to $42. So not an expensive Kickstarter to jump in on. So very excited about this one. So that is the first of the Kickstarters that I have backed. That there's just so much super news coming out of, out of Kickstarter for it, and what Tom Wilson is doing, with this project, and linking it to Shadow Dark, I think is not only smart, but it is a growing trend, and I'm going to continue showing off that trend to you with the next Kickstarter, which is already fulfilled and or already complete, I should say, and we're just waiting for the books to start arriving, and that should be very soon. So I'm going to switch views again and bring up the second of the Kickstarters I want to talk about that is already completed. And here we go. So let's see. Yes. So if you were following my channel back a ways ago, this project here, which was Gary Gygax's The Hermit, and this had exceeded the $100,000 mark, so well above its pledge level, 100 times above its pledge target. So just amazing Kickstarter here, and once again, Castles and Crusades has been connected to Shadow Dark with this project as well. So, we just celebrated the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons, and here you have a company, Troll Lord Games, that is just consistently, project after project after project, just keep on hitting home on, the reality that Gary Gygax's legacy is carried by Troll Lord Games, not by Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro. And if you want to have access to his actual works, all right, then Troll Lord Games is the place that you can get that from. So as you can see, I backed this at the $125 range, so the classic edition of the Hermit. And if we look at the stretch goals here, I mean, this is what it's going to look like. As we go to the stretch goals here, you will see that they have been tied. They met all of their goals, so it hit goal 9, and further and further connection to not only getting the 2 original versions of the game, right? Because this was originally put out for Legendary Adventures. I always get Gary Gygax's 2 systems conflated with each other. There was Legendary Adventures, and then the other one was Journeys. Slipping my mind. It's behind me. But this now is compatible with Castles and Crusades and Shadow Dark. All right, so the Hermit fully compatible with Shadow Dark RPG. And so yet another connection to that as well. US shipping, like I said, is only $7. So, really cool that they've made this connection. So I am going to come back here again and switch views once again. And so just further, showing these Kickstarters that I have, so gladly backed. I'm just so excited to actually get these things in my hand. Just as much as I was thrilled to get Shadow Dark, to get these others, within the next couple of months or so, is just going to be, such fuel for my upcoming gaming. So I will be looking to utilize these at my online gaming screen, as well as at upcoming conventions. I can almost guarantee you that I will be running Shadow Dark, and most likely connected to Tom Wilson's The Slumbering City, at Tom Wilson's organized convention ShireCon in September. So be on the lookout for that. I am absolutely running those two combined up as well. Next Kickstarter, or just news that I want to bring up to your attention from the Troll Lord Games site. So let me once again switch views here, and then I will share. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So now I can't expand this any larger, but this is a major announcement coming from Troll Lord Games that is going to have impact on future Kickstarters as well. So this one here, and I'm going to just start closing out some of my extra windows here so I don't get too confused and backlogged. So, Worlds of Gary Gygax. We are beyond pleased and honored to announce that the powers that have been released multiple works of the late Gary Gygax to Troll Lord Games for mass market publication. These include the complete Gygaxian Fantasy World series, Castle Zadig Igsburg, Castle Zadig Eastmark, Castle Zadig The Manse, Castle Zadig Mouths of Madness, Castle Zadig The Dungeons, which includes 17 handcrafted levels and any sub-levels, and all related Castle Zadig adventures such as The Teeth of Barkash-Nor, The Halls of Many Pains, The Hermit, which has already gone through its Kickstarter, really did launch all of this here, and a board game, The Kings of England, Kings of France. All right, and the details come down below here. So we have the Kickstarter, which I believe they made the announcement that this Kickstarter is going to launch in March. Yes, so it says right here actually. Currently, we are set to launch the Gygaxian Fantasy World Kickstarter campaign this March. Be sure to sign up and be there for any of the early bird specials, which I am absolutely going to be in there as soon as I get the notification that it is open. You can click on here to notify on launch. I've already done so, and it goes into what is his Fantasy Worlds. All right, so his Fantasy Worlds is a series of books, so 6 more volumes, so total 7 books. 7 books in this, in this collection of basically just Gary Gygax's tools for world building, for city building, for region building, and even for planular building, like building a galaxy that all of this, or a multiverse that all of this can go into. So super, super excited about this stuff as well. And the Hall of Many Pains, which was something that in their Twitch stream, Davis Chenault and Stephen Chenault and others, that Luke Gygax, I shouldn't say and others, Luke Gygax were all there, and Luke actually said that his father was super excited about this project. He absolutely adored what was going on with this here, and so there is so much more to work on. Gary's creative output was unmatched, and even in the waning years, he continued to grow. We're very happy to launch the Hermit, but there is more. The Hall of Many Pains is on deck. This massive planar adventure, written by Gary and originally published in 2005, is a monument to the bizarre and genius that was Gary's gift to us all. We bring this up to date and replenish in full color. So this was something that Luke Gygax said he was really excited to create, and and super, super stoked to see this For me, it's going to be for my first time since it was not published since 2005. And so it's really incredible the stuff that is coming out of the Gary Gygax estate. And that is all exclusively going, as of now, to Troll Lord Games. And I'm sure that Luke Gygax and his own company, Gaxworks, is also going to start um, producing some things or getting some of that as well. Or at least I hope so, because that's the appropriate thing as well. So, Gygaxian Fantasy Worlds is going to contain the Canting Crew, World Building, Living Fantasy, Extraordinary Books of Games. That is by Michael Bowers. Inside by Don Cross. Nation Builder by Michael O. Varhola of Cosmo Builders by Richard Balsey. Pantheons by Gary Gygax. Wayland Smith by Gary Gygax. I believe that's a short story. And then Essential Places by Zane McCarthy. And according to their, their Twitch stream, the Chenault brothers were basically saying that they're going to reach out to as many of the creators as they possibly can in order to release all of these things as quickly as possible. But there shouldn't be any hang-ups to get all of this stuff that was previously in print. They just want to find out about some other items that were never printed before, so never published before, which was a wish that I actually had, was that we actually start to get to see some things that were never in print prior to this. So, yeah, awesome news. A lot of stuff coming out of Troll Lord Games, and very, very exciting times. A lot of Kickstarters coming up in 2024 that are just going to fill up my shelf space. As you can see, let's see if I get my hand right. There's a whole section down at the bottom there that is empty, and I think that I'm going to end up having to have a Gary Gygax, Gary Gygax whole shelf dedicated to his post TSR works, which eventually I'll have them all. So I'm really excited about that. Let's go to, I think, the last one on the Kickstarter page that I need to talk about is, yeah, this one here, which I actually already talked about, but I will wrap up with this one. So, and then here we have the Gary Gygax's Gygaxian Fantasy Worlds. So again, this is a 7-book series, and I have this saved, ready to go, and just looking forward to it. And again, this is going to be in March, so we have a little over a month before this will launch, and just be on the lookout for it. So wrapping up, I will switch while we're right here, because this is still in the works and still has some time to go by, and yes, you're viewing it as well. So going back to this here, 56 hours to go, another $800 to go before it hits that 10,000 stretch goal. And once again, that stretch goal is Darker Shadows, an all-new supplement designed to make Shadow Dark even deadlier. And this will be free to all backers. So really excited about that. And, brings us right back into it. So this is the trend that I'm talking about, is that many of these publishers are starting to work with one another. Whether it be, Arcane Library has connected itself to, to Runehammer Games in many ways. I mean, they share a lot of art together, and they work together on different projects. And I have a feeling that this trend is going to continue. And I think that it really is going to push Shadow Dark up to the forefront within the OSR. And I think that the connection to Gary Gygax's estate and the things that are going to be coming out of there is going to push Trollord Games to the forefront of the independent publishers. And I mean, some people consider it to be OSR, others don't, including themselves. They consider themselves to be a progression forward from kind of the hybrid that Gary Gygax would have created, combining a D&D first edition with some elements of D&D third edition. And if Gygax was still in charge of TSR, unfortunately he was not. You know, would have been Castles and Crusades would have been the system that he would have created. And so seeing that Trollord Games is still going to be putting out even more of Gary Gygax's writings is just super, super positive, I think, for the hobby as a whole. Introduce a whole new generation of people to Gary Gygax's vision for tabletop role-playing games, which I think is oftentimes misrepresented. And Gary was a gamer first and wanted people to play multiple game systems and in multiple settings in multiple ways and multiple genres of gaming as well. So any insight that we can gain into his gaming theory, his tabletop role playing hobby theory is, I think, a huge bonus for everyone that remains involved in the hobby in a more direct way than in previously, right? So really excited about that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave your questions and comments in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Be on the lookout for a video that I am posting at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. It's actually pre-recorded before this one. And that is extending my series of videos on Call of Cthulhu 2nd Edition, which I am going to be running a campaign starting. Session 0 will be this Friday at 8 p.m. or possibly 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And so you'll be on the lookout as well for those recaps. I'm really excited about those as well. And with just 3 players, I think I'll be able to do a lot more with, a lot more with just 3 players and be able to extend out that, those previews and reviews and recaps in a lot better quality for you all. So, looking forward to that as well. Have a great rest of your day. It is only Wednesday, so we're on hump day. So hopefully you're getting over the hump of your work week, and look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or at a convention table sometime soon. Take care.